Hello my crafty friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Leslie and thank you so much for visiting Crafty Cards with Leslie. Today's card is all about paper piecing. This card is a little bit more time consuming, but if you like fussy cutting as I do, just give it a try. I love these people stamps from Close to My Heart. They actually do come with the dies as well if you don't like fussy cutting. They remind me so much of paper dolls I used to spend endless hours playing with as a child. Anyway, let's get started. I'll go over some of the product. This is the paper pack that I used. The pattern paper came from this one. It's the mixed in September to October pack, and a lot of the paper came from this pack. It's a really nice neutral colors and will go with just about anything. So I'll just move this. I'll put this on one side. This is the original card that I made using this stamp, and it's a 4.5 by 7, so I thought we'd go with just a regular size, which is the card size that I usually like to go with, which is 5.5 by 4.25. Easy to mail, no extra postage required on that size, so that's always a bonus. So as you can see from this one, I did lots of fussy cutting, put on a nice cheesy Christmas movie, and just sat and cut out a whole pile of stamped images. So I thought I would, rather than stamp everything out on camera, I thought I'd do all that ahead of time. It'll save a little bit of time. So this is the card all ready to go. These are all the little bits and pieces. So I'll just take out the pieces that I need for this card. And they're very easy to build. I don't know if you can see, but I did this last night and put some liquid glass on the dog's nose and eyes, and actually on her boots as well. I think it lends a really nice effect to things that usually are a little shinier. So I've got all those pieces, and these are all for future cards. So these are the stamps that I used. This is the girl stamp in a Winter Wonderland. And then this one is another one. It's a stamp of the month. It's a very old one. And this is what the sentiment, the best friends, came from this one, to My Bestie. But I'm sure you can change up the sentiment to make it whatever you want. On the original one, I made it a birthday card, so I put a little balloon there. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to mix it up and put a little puppy on. So this is the string that I used, and that of course is going to be the dog leash. And that one is Stars and Sparklers card making, and this is Party Girl, and this is the one that the puppy came from. And then this one is the sentiment here, You Warm My Heart. And then this one is my favorite go-to one for just doing the little splatter. You can actually just do splatters on that, but it's a little bit more precise if you use a stamp to put it on. So that's from that. So there are all the different stamps that I used. So let's get started here. So first of all, I inked around my edges, which you don't have to do. It's just one extra little step, and I'm just going to use the black. And there's quite a bit. I find that these little sponge daubers actually hold the color quite well. So as you can see, I stamped the sentiment and the dog leash. So it does take a little bit of time, and I don't like to make these videos too long, but maybe I'll add a little bit more. So this is the intense black. If you don't want to ink the edges, you can just leave it as is. I always find it gives a little bit more depth to the image, but you can also add a little mat around it with additional cardstock too, and that works. So that's going to go down here. Now what you want to make sure is that her hand is going to be the right level to make it look as though she's holding the leash, and then the little dog needs to be down here. So that's about where we need that. Okay, so I'll try and remember where that one goes, and I'll just use the little tape runner for that. back side of this paper actually is quite nice too. So about there, I think it was. Okay. So next I'm going to do the ink blending. If you can see here, it's just a shadow, just gives it something to sort of anchor the image to the page, so the card. So we'll do a little bit of ink blending next, and I'm going to do Toffee ink for that. These little mats are great too, very inexpensive, and I just got them from the grocery store, and they're just to open jar lids. So we'll start here and just work our way down. We just want it really behind the image of her. Put a little bit more on there. Just work it into the paper. I already made this the card base up just to save time, but it's just got the mat. You can leave a mat, put a mat on if you wish, or just leave it as is. And I'm just going to put a little bit of blended ink just where the puppy's is going to be. A little bit more there, and I'll just see what she looks like on that, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I think that probably will do it. Okay, we'll leave that as is, and we'll just add some splatters. And I find there's quite often in the stamps, there's a lot of little add-on images, little stars or hearts. Quite often you do get little splatters in there, which I think just add to it. And try and rotate your little splatters too, so they're not all the same. A couple down here for the dog. Yeah, and I think that probably will do it. We'll just try her on there. And what I do when yeah, that should be good. Actually that's a little bit crooked. Let's just straighten that up a little bit. If I used a T-square ruler, that would probably be a bit more helpful. I tend to eyeball probably too much. Anyway, that's better. So let's get her dressed. So when you want to start with the doing the layers of clothes, you always want to start at the bottom. So I'm going to glue this on, and we'll start with the legs. Make sure we get the right leg on the right pant on the right leg. There we go. And the boots, I coloured in, actually the boots and the gloves, I coloured in on the dull green blend, and they're a tri-blend marker, which are great for shading. And the same with the brown as well for the hair is the earth brown blend. Very easy to do. Okay. Sliding around a little bit so it gives you time to position it. Now for the coat, it's going to be the next thing. And I'm just going to blend a little bit more on the edges. So this gives it a little bit more of a depth to it. And it also covers up any raw edges. And I cut it inside the lines, and that way you're not going to get anything. Sorry, I cut the actual image inside the lines, and then it gives the coat or whatever it is that you put in on her, it will just go over the edge, so you won't see any of the white paper underneath there. I think I'll use this for that. Okay, just make sure it covers up the boots slightly, and if you line that up and then line it up with her glove, that should do it. Okay, now I do have a little bit of white showing there, so I'm just going to clip that off. And that will be good. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is put on the hair. So I think I'll just add the glue directly to the body part. You don't need too much because it does sort of slip around when it's on there. Just want to make sure the ends are down there. Now you could, if you wanted to, just colour in the hat. That would work well too. There you go. And the hat. May as well use glue for this one too. And I actually put a little bit of liquid glass on the pom-pom on the hat too. And a little bit on the end of the braids there. It makes it look as though it's a little elastic. Okay, so she's just about done. So what I did on this one was, I don't know if you can see underneath there, but this part I actually stuck down flat to the card front. The top part is raised up on 3D foam dots, so it's just it just gives it a little bit more depth and dimension. So I'll do the same thing with this. So I'll put the top on the glue before it finishes it where it shouldn't. So we'll just put this one flat and then put some foam squares on the body part. Whoops, that should do it. Okay, so remember to line her hand up with the leash, and just to cover the edge of the paper, of the little panel there, with the side of her body. And just lift this a little bit so I can see. Okay, down a little bit, and we'll tilt her a little bit. Okay, you just want to make sure she actually stays on the card there. You don't want to go over the card. Okay, time for the puppy dog. Now this one I did put on foam squares, so I'll do the same thing with this one. Cute little guy. So we'll have the leash going around his neck. You can't see the collar. I guess his face is covering the collar. Oh, we'll pretend it is. So some more foam tape. You don't need too much for this one. Another little bit down there. Okay. There you go. So that is a really quick and easy card to make once you've got all the pieces cut out, and a cute little envelope to go with it. So I'll list everything that I've used below in the video, and please, if you've got any questions, please leave any comments in the area down below the video, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And thank you so much for watching Crafty Cards with Leslie. And if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up icon and click on the bell to be notified of any new videos. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.